On your one of the slides, you had listed environmental legislation, but you didn't list any for Jamaica. I'm wondering why, because we have a number, so I'm wondering if there's a particular reason why you didn't put any for us.
Well, it probably would have been that we didn't get feedback from the region, because what we did, we sent out to the focal points in the region to send us their environmental legislation, as well as any legislation that we think that they can leverage. So this initially is not a complete due diligence, but is a state of our legislative gathering as of now. We are hoping to produce a technical report that gives a state of legislation that is relevant to this project within the Caribbean region. So Michael has been reaching out to get the legislation from the various jurisdictions, and that's what has been submitted so far. Please do send them.
Good morning, everyone. So, my question is, because I hear a lot about how you see government agencies, universities, research, everything. How do you envision the role of the private sector in this whole thing? Because of course I represent the private sector.
The private sector is our key part of implementation. For us, the private sector will be our the persons of taking the technology. They will be able to burn the cost with respect to this exercise. And I would invite Captain Singh to actually comment on that. But in terms of the private sector, they play a very important role in sharing the data and submitting the data gathering that we require in order to make informed decisions as to how we implement and the state of implementation in the region. I will ask Captain Singh and Mr. Nana to comment on that, as they are the leads on the pilot projects that deal with the uptake of energy efficiency as well as the data gathering, which is where the private sector plays a key role. Well, I should also say that the private sector we would embrace as advocates for better, it might sometimes be a conflict of interest, for advocates for better maritime legislation.
Good morning. I think the most important or vital player in this whole exercise is private sector. Why so? Because as operators, ship owners, you don't want to face legislation which is not in line with our operational practices. Right? We need to take action as private players towards climate change, but certainly the legislation, if it is informed, all the decisions are informed, how that can be practical, because if we will be an important stakeholder in all these decision-making activities, provide the data, and exactly, because now what happens? For example, SIMP. You have that SIMP as per Annex 6, but what are we doing it with as a private player on board our vessels? It's just a part of documentation. Take in the checklist, we have the documentation, and that's it. We don't want a legislation as a private player which is not of any help to us, right? So I think the major role by private players in this is to aid in that informed decision making, where legislation will be actually practical to implement and have the desired result. Thank you.
What I'd like you to do is, when you realize, just give me an indication of your name and the organization you represent, please.
Thank you. I'd just like to make a follow-up comment to the question. That when we were doing the roaming studies, the private sector was very much an integral part of the study. So we met with the Port Authority as well as with the Shipping Association. In fact, the Shipping Association of Jamaica is a member of the task force. And one of the reasons I think we were not very successful in getting the data that we needed for that database on your fuel consumption and so on was because I think that the private sector was not collecting that data or making it available in a format that we needed. So that was not a government challenge. It was really the private sector that did not have that kind of that data.
I'm Chanel Sector Robinson. I'm from Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited. We operate in the port of Kingston. We actually do collect greenhouse gas emission data because, of course, we're a subsidiary of CMA-CGM. So we actually do have that data available because we have to report to our head office on that annually. I mean, we're only like 1.5 years old, but we took over the port last year in July. So we're only like just over a year old, but we actually do have to report that. So I mean, I can't convince the company, but I think it's something that we would be interested in being involved with and stuff like that. Yeah, we have to do a lot of reporting on our environmental conditions and practices.
That's very good news, Chanel. Right? Now, the question is, how do you get access to this data? Because we know, we have been told many times that yes, there are institutions in Jamaica especially collecting this data, but they're never able to access it.
Well, I suppose you have to send us a request for the data, and I mean, and we will pass it on to the powers that be about the data, and they will guide us accordingly. But it's something that, I mean, as I say, as part of our being good corporate citizens, we're dedicated to operate not just socially responsibly, but environmentally responsibly. We do a lot of things to improve our lessen our environmental impact on the port, and the surrounding neighbors and Jamaica generally. So I'm almost sure that's something that we would be interested in. And CMA-CGM is very good at that as well.
You'll get a request very soon.
Thank you, Janelle, and I'm going to speak with you during the lunch break because we actually had a meeting with KFTL and requested the data.
Did they not give you data?
No, but we're going to speak with you after. But I think there is a disconnect between the ports and the issue. So ship owners have to comply with Marble Annex 6. Ports don't. And so one of the challenges that we have is raising the awareness of the port operators on the impact of air emissions on the port. And I think as we increase the awareness levels, we get more buy-in and more support for data collection. But as it stands now, I don't think the ports in general. The good thing with KFTL is that it's owned by a ship owner or a ship operator, so they can make a connection. But for the other ports, there's a challenge in getting them to understand the importance of Annex 6 and collect the data.
Good morning again. Just to follow up on the answer question in general, given that we may not have as much of a challenge getting the data from the ships, because as Bird has pointed out, MARPOL regulates the ships, and there are certain things that the ships have to produce. But we have a challenge relative to the ports. Is there then a role for the national environmental agencies to ensure, because national environmental agencies will be the vanguard of the air within a country, the extent of emissions and pollution control, or some similar body? Is there a role for them in this in terms of us getting the information and creating awareness, one, and even regulating so that the data is available?
Okay, so logistics for inflation, we will go there for the next section of questioning. So, think there is a role. I don't know if every region should respond actually with respect to this state, but yes, national environmental agencies have this responsibility, and the tradition has been to leave the maritime sector alone. But in terms of the emissions from the ports, those are projects that are now being developed and looked into. So for example, even within Trinidad, we are now developing projects that will actually look at air emissions arising from port operations and port infrastructure. So there is an opportunity again to leverage the national environmental air pollution rules or air pollution standards that exist, specifically targeting the port operations. And perhaps what we can do as a to-do, it's not a deliverable of this project, but in terms of understanding the impact of maritime air emissions, we can also try to capture that sort of data as well in terms of port emissions to the best we can. We may not be able to do it under the ambit of the MTCC, but it's something we can do within either GLOBE or within our university research.
So the GLOBE project actually has a port component where we have to collect data on emissions from port-related activities. Nephros here, I hope you want to respond, but they play a key role in this activity. They're on the National Task Force, and I know that there is some monitoring of air emissions, and we had a discussion at our last MTF about doing monitoring on the ports. So they play a key role.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Fiona Lewis from the National Environment and Planning Agency, and I'm in the area of air quality management. Currently, we do have regulations that speak to air quality management. The drawback with that is that it does not address marine emissions. And that is one of the limitations that we have identified. As a matter of fact, there are two areas of limitations with that regulation, is that it does not address motor vehicle emissions and marine emissions. And that is something that we're moving to address. Traditionally, things that have to do with marine is actually left to the Maritime Authority of Jamaica. So it may be that if there are gaps, it may be something that we will have to work with the Maritime Authority in filling those gaps to address those issues.
Thank you. I can introduce myself. I'm Ruth Patapsing from the University of Technology, and I worked with the Maritime Authority of Jamaica on the GLOBE project. I just want to make a comment on capacity building. Most of the capacity building exercises that we have seen or participated have been geared towards persons like us. But in doing the GLOBE exercise, we found that it was very necessary for us to take training to another level, to the actual people who work on the ports, from the truck drivers and the fleet managers, to the operators of all these various activities, because they're not as aware of climate change issues. They know it's for Jamaica, climate change, I think almost everybody, because we have it in our conversations and in our dialogue. But to make the link between what they do and their contribution to their emissions, I think it's very important that in looking at training, that you actually drill down to some of those target groups that work on the boards. Just that.
Austin Lovan, Marine Inspector from the Maritime Authority. I just have one question concerning the emission sampling. The arguments seem to be on the ports. I just want someone to distinguish emission from ships while in the ports or emission from machinery that work on the ports. And also, are we required to monitor emission from ships in coastal waters, and how do we do that?
Specifically answering in respect to this project, MTCC, in the after lunch session, we will be talking about quantification of emissions, and one of our pilots is to quantify emissions from ships. Now, when we are talking about emissions within port, right, so that's not part of this project as such, but yes, there is a need to quantify emissions within the port, because when we are talking about topics like green ports or greening the ports, we have to see what is the impact of these emissions when ships are in the port. And it will include, because a wider green port infrastructure will include what is the emissions from the associated equipment or machinery within the port, like your, say, tractors or trucks involved, or how what is their impact on traffic congestion on the roads by the location of port and all those things, how they are contributing to emissions. And based on that, we can come out with recommendations which will mitigate these emissions. As of now, yes, we are, under this project, we are only calculating emissions, because again, MARPOL is concerning to ships, so we are limiting it to ship under this project. But yes, there is a project already in pipeline where we want to calculate emissions while the vessels are alongside, because that will give recommendations what ports have to do and what strategy they have to develop to reduce those emissions within when vessel is within the port. The options are available, technology is available, but how would we, specify which one to use where? We'll talk about more after lunch. Those are very specific to technical presentations which we have to give.
Under the LOMI project, the first activity, which is data collection, involved the collection of data from the port, from forklifts, trucks, gantry cranes, etc. And it's important for us to collaborate with the MTCC so that we don't overlap, and we can share information to ensure we successfully implement our projects. Studies have shown that persons who work on ports are affected by air emissions, asthma, cancers, and I think we can make that connection between ships alongside. Container ships have been shown to the culprits or cruise ships stay alongside for half a day, and so the persons who work on the terminals or surrounding areas are exposed to air emissions from ships. But also, on the port, we have, as I said, our forklifts, gantry cranes, straddle carriers that are not necessarily using green technology. And a Canadian study showed that the security guards at the gate to the ports are heavily affected by emissions and suffer the health consequences. So if these projects can make that link between adverse health consequences and emissions on ports, or arising from port activities or ships alongside, I think that will be able to make that connection that we need between the port facilities and MARPOL annexes.
Okay, so I think this might be our last submission under this area, but I just wanted to thank Ruth for flagging the need to engage stakeholders at every level. And what I can say from Trinidad, we've actually started doing that already, because we identified our shipping agents as key persons in our data gathering. So we've started doing workshops to train them in submitting the data and how to submit the data in a format that's also easier for us to extract the data. So what I would like to encourage all of you, if you can identify stakeholders that you believe are integral to this process, identify them, and we will try to find a medium that we can reach them. Because we're open to creating webinars or training sessions that you can host in your respective institutions to carry the training to them as well. So what I will invite all of our delegates here from the regions, if you feel that we are missing a stakeholder or somebody that we should do more targeted training to, feed us that information and we will try to develop the mechanism to reach them.
Thank you, everyone. I think that was quite a successful session in starting the conversation. All right. So at this time, what we like to do is, I know some of you are assistants of familiar faces, some of you were present in Port of Spain when we did the first regional workshop in June. And I'd like to have Mr. Tevin Paris, one of our MTCC officers, to present the results from this workshop